think the worst thing about this from a Celtic board point of view is that the board offered ANGE Postecoglou an unbelievable deal, an unbelievable transfer kitty, and he told the board that he wanted to wait. Before the game on Saturday, before the Scottish Cup final, Ange Postecoglou had a brief meeting with our owner and Peter Lawwell, and he told them that he wanted to take up the Tottenham job. Fabrizio Romano this morning has said, "I understand Tottenham have finally reached a verbal agreement with Ange Postecoglou as the next manager. Been told it'll be a 2-year deal with an option to include another season, so potentially valid until 2026. The next step is to get it done to find a way with Celtic. In more shocking news, the man that came with nothing wants to leave with everything." That's right, Ange Postecoglou wants to take key members of staff to Spurs with him. He wants to take John Kennedy is number 2. He spoke highly of John Kennedy last week for obvious reasons, to butter the guy up. He also wants to take, and I think for me, the fact that he told our shareholders before the game on Saturday, it means that the guy knew this was going on. For him to turn around and say for weeks that he didn't know anything about it, he wasn't thinking about it, and then it's now come out that he did tell our owner before the game. Obviously the aftermath, it was a historic treble. Let's not take away from the fact that the guy did get the treble for us. Hats off to him. Goodbye. Levy is expected to announce it. The fact that he wants to take Kennedy, the man that came with nothing, wants to take Kennedy, wants to take other backroom staff such as Gavin Strachan and first team video analyst also. I think that's a bit sneaky by the manager. He come over to the UK with nothing and he wants to strip Celtic. It's also understood that he wants to come back for Kyogo Furiashi, and they're expected to table a bid of around about 25 million plus add-ons to take it up to the 30 million for Kyogo. Should Celtic take 25 million for Kyogo, where does that leave Celtic? It is understood this morning that the board were due to have a meeting anyway. It's understood that they were due to have an end of season meeting with Postecoglou and all his backroom staff and the board members to basically put pen to paper to everything that they'd spoke about over the last couple of weeks. It's understood that the meeting, that picture that was released sneakily, I think it was a fact that he had agreed a deal in principle with Celtic and the owner, and he wanted to sign it the day after the cup final. He wanted to put it, and he's a very clever man. There's going to be a lot of people that are going to just give him a lot of abuse. I think as far as we see it from now, we move on. And this isn't by accident. It's not surprised that people are looking at John Kennedy. The manager said just a few weeks ago, he says, and he'll make an outstanding manager at his time. The fact that he wants to take Kennedy with him. Do you think it's time for John Kennedy to go? John Kennedy's been at the club for over 25 years. He's been and seen some fantastic managers. Is it the right time for him to go? Who do we bring in? Who does Celtic bring in next? You've got to remember, we're in a lot better position than we were when Neil Lennon left as manager, so do not panic. We're going straight into the Champions League. It makes the Celtic job a fantastic opportunity for any top level manager out there, or anyone that wants to become a top level manager and test ourselves at the highest level. We're straight into the Champions League. We've got a squad that's worth an absolute fortune. He's left us in a good shape. It's not often that you get a manager. Usually a manager will stay far too long, and but I think the thing that disappoints every Celtic fan is the whole thing that he wouldn't commit. He's been very, very clever. Obviously his agent has been talking. His agent's based down in London anyway, and he has been talking to the owner of Tottenham over the past couple of weeks. And when he wasn't first choice at Celtic, he will not be the last. There's probably going to be a few more updates this afternoon. I'm actually waiting for the London Stock Exchange that has just opened. I reckon there will be an announcement through the London Stock Exchange. The way that Celtic have to do it is obviously because they're a PLC. They have to make the announcement through the Stock Exchange that Ange Postecoglou has left the club, and then they'll make an announcement. There's meant to be a meeting today, so that'll probably get released around about 10 o'clock, I would have thought. So on that note, I'm going to say have a good day, but it's one of those things. Keep an eye out to the channel. There will be another update this afternoon. We will keep an eye on this story. We'll keep it as fluid as possible, and I'll be bringing you all the Celtic news as it happens throughout the day.
lit. Roll up to the party, roll up to the party.